Hey there, everyone. Thanks for tuning into my parent meeting video for EDU 503 Sports Law. I've decided to include information for this parent meeting from my current school district's athletic handbook, which is Jeff City High School, as well as some information from Misha. And then whenever I present this to the parents, they would all be given the PowerPoint slides to take notes on, as well as a packet of additional information that they can take home with them. So now I'm going to present the information as if I were actually presenting it to the parents. So let's do that. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for attending tonight's parent meeting. Tonight we're going to discuss the risks involved in participating in athletics and activities. There's a sign-in sheet located by the door. Be sure to sign in with your student under the correct sport. We'll go ahead and get started. At the end, I'll leave the floor open for questions, but stop me before any time if you'd like me to clarify any information. So, athletics and activities are provided to supplement the classroom experience. They're a privilege, not a right. So, therefore, administrators, coaches, and teachers have the ability to suspend any participants for inappropriate conduct. But I do believe that it's important to mention the benefits of participating in athletics and activities before discussing the risks involved with participating. So, besides the obvious benefit of physical exercise and health, we want to mention the improved academics as well as teamwork and problem solving. It also helps boost self esteem, gains leadership skills, students learn time management, as well as social relationships and positive mentors, right? Whether that's coaches or upperclassmen on the team. And studies have shown that students who actively participate in extracurricular activities outperform their peers academically in the classroom. They're healthier and they're less likely to have discipline issues. These are the necessary documents to participate in athletics, which we should all be aware of at this point. The emergency contact form, your athlete needs a physical exam, as well as current and updated insurance. There's also a participation policy form on our website, and then the drug testing consent form. And then it is required to attend an athlete and parent sport specific meetings. In addition to this meeting, you'll want to be sure to attend the meeting specific to your sport, which should be communicated from your coach. All these forms must be completed with the required signatures before your athlete can begin practicing, and that they can be submitted via the software on our athletic website. All right, so now that we've covered the basics about the forms and why we're participating, we need to cover the risks involved with that participation. And the main obvious risk here is injury. That's always something to consider when participating in athletics and activities. Some sports are more at risk for injuries than others. Sports that involve full contact have higher injury rates, like football. But non-contact activities like cheerleading also have a high number of reported injuries as well. So no sport is off limits as far as injuries is concerned. Typically, the acute injuries are caused from lack of supervision or improper equipment and facilities. And the overuse of injuries can occur from playing multiple sports in a season or possibly playing sports every season, as well as just poor strength and flexibility. So, likewise, the re injuries typically occur when an athlete returns too soon from a previous injury. Um, we believe that one of the best treatments for all injuries here is resting and drinking plenty of fluids. Your athlete will be sidelined for an injury until they're deemed fit to play again by our athletic training staff and have coach approval. One of the main causes for injuries could be that the safety gear and equipment, we got to make sure that that fits correctly, and that's crucial to preventing the injuries. However, all of our coaches here are certified in CPR and first aid, and we do require that an athletic trainer also be present or nearby during practice times. This allows critical response time should an injury occur at practice or in a game. But this also involves just making sure the student athlete's ready and prepared to play, right? That's how we can also prevent injury. If the coach doesn't believe that the athlete is fit to compete or might be at risk of injuring other teammates or opponents, then they're not going to play. Our coaches must complete the concussion in sports course offered by the National Federation of State High School Associations. This course highlights the importance of proper concussion protocol and management, and it includes the proper requirements for the state of Missouri. So they're definitely certified and know what to look for as far as concussions are concerned. I listed out a few potential signs of a concussion. However, that's not an encompassing list. You know your child better than they know themselves sometimes, and better than the coaches know them. So if you hear they've been injured at practice, take special circumstances at home to be sure that they're doing okay. The main, concern again here to become better and ready to practice and play again is rest, both physically and mentally. And then we'll just kind of work their way back up. So if they've been injured and had a concussion, we're going to start by resting and then working our way up to light exercise, and then maybe throwing in some sport specific drills, no contact drills, and then we'll be back in full action practice. So slow and steady wins the race here. You want to be sure that we ease our athletes back into activity after a concussion. Another risk associated with athletics and activities is heat stroke. And it's typically a risk for sports that play in the summer and the fall when it's typically hotter and they're practicing outside, because heat stroke is caused by the obvious hot environment in combination with the strenuous exercise. The prevention of heat stroke involves fast treatment, hydration, and then cooling the body. But this is a medical emergency. It's serious. We're supposed to cool down the athlete first and then transport them to receive medical attention. So for your students, just make sure that they understand to be prepared and recognize when their body's getting too hot, so they can alert the coach, slow down, and get some more fluids in their body. So there are other risks and concerns to participating in athletics and activities. One of the main ones here would be stress. There are many kinds of stress that participants can feel. Our student athletes are often required to put in many hours practicing and preparing, which not only puts stress on their body, but stress to keep up with their academic demands. The time demands can cause a loss of sleep, or an inability to participate in other healthy activities with their peers. They're just exhausted. But there's also the pressure to perform, so that can cause another unnecessary risk here. Participating, and many times that pressure is self-imposed. Our student athletes want to perform at their highest level, but that can also come from parents and coaches. They want to please parents and coaches, and they'll place unnecessary pressure upon themselves to do that. Um, Same thing with the peers. They want to be considered great athletes amongst their peers. All injuries need to be reported immediately to the coach or the athletic trainer on site. The coaches have specific protocols and about how and when to report the injury after the student lets them know, and they have paperwork they have to complete. The coach will contact you about the injury if your athlete didn't already, and then obviously if medical personnel is necessary or a visit to the hospital or emergency room, the emergency contact on the form you submitted is going to be notified first. But just common sense, right? Utilize basic communication skills amongst the coaches, the players, and the families to make sure everyone's on the same page. All right, so that kind of wraps it up. Does anybody have any questions for me? No? Okay, well, thanks again for attending, everyone. Remember to sign in, and also remember that the benefits of participating in athletics and activities far outweigh the risks, right? Thanks again, and have a great evening. We'll see you soon.